beautiful, amazing crochet family. I am your one and your only Lady of Crochet, Lady-Samoan, and we are back with another all over the place crochet broadcast. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all, listen. If y'all have a project that you're working on, if you have like something that you just want to listen, you have a little time to listen, we are going to chat it up today. I have a couple of things I wanted to show y'all. I just want to talk a little bit to y'all about some things, I guess, that I have going on, some things when it regards to crochet, kind of like where my mind has been. And it's one of those things I was like, you know what? We are going to hit play and we are going to not play. Look at me. We're going to press record. We are going to press record and we are going to talk about it because I know I'm not the only one when it comes down to crochet that have just like these little moments, and I feel like it's so important to share it because it's a beautiful thing to where we do come together for crochet. But I think there's also another reason that we're here together, whether it is to, give some love that someone may not even know that they need it in that moment in time, or even like express some things and someone say, you know what, I'm going to do that same thing too. So get your favorite hook, get your work in progress or start a new project or whatever, and let's sit down and chat it up. Because first I want to talk a little bit about I've been working on some work in progress, as y'all can see, y'all, and I finished some stuff, y'all. I finished the rug that I showed on the channel a while ago, and I am going to have to insert a picture inside of this video because it's actually on my floor now. If you can look at my setup, I changed my setup. I was going to do a little bit of, not, I wouldn't say not being inspired to crochet, but it's been kind of like a up and down on recording a video, press and record. It's been one of those things to where I've been crocheting, but I just have not been filming. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to change my space around. And I started changing my space around, making a little cozy corner, and I kind of divided my room. So there's going to be some videos where I will be crocheting in the videos. And then it's just like a little cozy corner that I created. And I will be crocheting like from that corner. And I feel like it's so important to refresh your space sometimes, because this space refresh was one of the reasons that helped me press record. You know, Another big thing that happened, like, I'm gonna be all over the place, but we're gonna talk. Like I say, I hope y'all have your project, okay? Another big thing that happened, y'all, I had a birthday. I had a birthday, y'all. I am now in the 40s club, okay? I know it don't look like it. I know it don't look like it, but y'all, it is. And I did not know how big this birthday was going to be on me mentally, because like anybody that knows me, like I'm 110% childlike energy forever. Like I'm loud, I'm happy, excited. But y'all, this 40-year-old birthday, I don't know why, but I've been feeling a little bit like, whoa, like I need to reevaluate some things. And I'm like, what? So I think really it was this period in time to where, and this was some weeks before. So, I think I was just in this space of trying to figure this thing out, right? Because when you do something that you really genuinely love to do, but then it doesn't kind of equate to quote unquote what they say, hey, at this age, this should look like this or this right here. You have to remind yourself, like, listen, you are not running, they said, race. Your race, your life, everything is going to look different because you're running your own. We all have to live our own life, right? So it's like I had to kind of get reminded of those things. And to be reminded was to have to sit back and was have to sit down and say, look at all the beautiful things that you are creating, you have created, and you can't base your life off other people's standards, right? So y'all, I feel so much better, but I wanted to come on and talk to y'all about that because I'm like, this is a real thing. Yes, crochet, I crochet a lot, but I'm like, listen, is this crochet thing really, like, I was questioning my crochet, like, what? And you can't question something that you love, that you feel that really genuinely come to you, right? Well, I can't say you can't question it, but the beautiful thing is that even in a questioning, give yourself time to think about like, what was the reason why I sat in front of this camera and pressed record? So even if you're going through a time in life to where it's like, I don't know what I should be doing, or if the thing that I'm doing is what I need to be doing at this moment. You have to ask yourself, like, what was your purpose and reason for starting that? Because for YouTube, for me, it was more than crochet. Always was more than crochet. It was bigger than crochet. I wanted to show my crochet creation, but I also wanted to spread so much love and kindness. And, somebody may be going through something to say, listen, I got to get this from this girl today, And I genuinely feel that. Like, there's something like, I may use somebody pattern and they're like, oh my goodness, thank you for shouting my pattern out. You never know who you meet. You never know what the journey you like. Crochet is just a byproduct because I've met some amazing people. And when you have meet such amazing people and, someone says, I enjoy watching your video, that means the world, to me, because for me, it's like, listen, this is why I wanted to do this thing. It's bigger than crochet. Although crochet has led us to this channel, y'all. Crochet has led us here. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I'm a dibble dabble in between my conversations, y'all. I try to write it down in my notebook because your girl trying to get organized. Because like I say, I'm still all over the place. So don't worry. We're going to still be all over the place over here. So you don't even have to worry. Like, feel like, yo, I gotta be like on my P's and Q's in order to come watch this channel. This is not the channel for that. This is not like you're gonna feel good once you in this video because guess what? You're gonna see a mirror. You're gonna be like, yo, somebody else like me, and we still amazing people. Like, yes, but let me show y'all this. I've been working on bucket hats, right? And this is one, I feel like it came out big. Now, I am going to shout out where I got this bucket hat pattern because on Facebook, there's a lady, her name is Mary Lou. I'm gonna put it all right here. I'm gonna put her Facebook name on the page because she shared a the bucket hat pattern, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. But the thing is, she crochets with such a tight tension that her hats come out so tight, so nice looking. And she shared the pattern and it was so amazing. But one thing, mine does not come out the same way as hers. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's the beautiful thing about crochet. And I say, you know what? I wanted to talk about this on the channel because a lot of people get upset sometimes when someone shares a pattern and when they make it, it doesn't come out the exact same way. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, that's the beautiful thing about crochet. Maybe you have to drop your hook size. Maybe you have to use a different type of yarn, but that's the part in creativity and creating things that you have to understand that we could all have the same thing, but it's all about your uniqueness that you're going to bring to that pattern that it may not look the same. And we can't argue with the people sometimes when they give you something, especially for free, and it doesn't turn out as theirs. But this one turned out a little big. I'm gonna show y'all. I have look at it. And I feel like my head is a little bigger, and y'all see my frames are so big too. So when you look at it, it fits my head, but like on my kid's head or something, it was like way too big. But my hair, I think if I was to wear my hair down like this, I think it would look super cute. But it is kind of large. It's like really, really big. But it's one of those things like it remind me of Blossom back in the day. And what even more remind me of that, I think that was a TV show. She had the lady who's making these hats, she had a flower applique that she put on there. And that definitely remind me of Blossom. But I feel like this is one of the best patterns that I have seen for a bucket hat because the shape wise, the way it fits, it's sturdy, it's just big. I would say I may need to drop my hook size, and in the pattern that she shared on Facebook, and it's all over her page. So if you go to her name on Facebook, you will see the pattern for free. She used the 5mm crochet hook. Now I was like, maybe if I drop my hook size, it would be better. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, anything under a 5, I'm getting like, I'm getting to the point to where, especially for a hat and going in around, I'm like, listen, that's okay. That's okay. We'll make it big. just one of those people like, listen, I want a 5 or a 6 when it comes down to making some hats. But I would say the hats that she makes, that she have on her channel, is beautiful. And I wanted to take a time out in the video to just say to her, I don't even know, she may not never see this video, y'all, but I want her to know that she is appreciated for sharing her pattern for free, and for just being able to give us a part of her. And there's a lot of people who ask so many questions, and I think people don't understand what all goes into creating a pattern, what all goes into sharing a part of you with the world. Because once it's out there, it's out there. Me and my husband have this conversation all the time. He's like, listen, once you put it out, you put it out there for people to critique. You put it out there for people to do whatever they want with it. And I totally agree with it, but it's still, sometimes it can be a little rough when some people are not the nicest. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to, give her some praise on that, because it's hard work to create a pattern. It's hard work to share your work, and it's even harder work to have people critique your work when you're doing something from the kindness of your heart. But this is how my bucket hat turned out, y'all. And then I did it with 2-strand yarn, because she had another pattern on there that said, listen, you can make the same hat with 2 strands of yarn, and y'all know I was here for it. And I'm like, listen, and I showed this one in a I think it was a reel on the channel. Y'all, this one, nice, okay? This one is so nice. And I honestly feel like if I was to do it over again, I would do it in 2-strand, because it's something about like how when you mix the yarn and how the colors look together, that actually gets me, y'all. This is sturdy. This is nice. I think I'm gonna make a couple of more of these with the 2 strands, and how I did it, in case anyone do go and get her pattern. Because you can use it while you can do 2 strands. Anybody know, like when you're using your scrap yarn, you could just switch it however. But one thing that I found that I liked, especially with this one, I had a base color. So pink was my base color here. I never changed the pink throughout. And I changed all the other colors throughout. And I have like a scrap basket. And in my scrap basket, I had little balls of yarn. So I just used them until they were out, tied onto the other. And that worked amazing for me, y'all. I think it turned out really, really good. And like I say, it's so sturdy. Like, it's a sturdy, solid hat. Now, I follow her pattern the exact same way on both hats. But of course, this one to me came out so much better. This one is humongous. Okay, we said that. I think what I'm going to do too is probably unravel this one and use that as a base, the blue as a base, and just add other colors in when I make another hat like this. Because one thing, I don't know why, scrap projects have really been like on my heart, y'all. I've been really doing a lot of scrap projects. And I think what it was, when I was switching my room around, right, I was noticing that I had a lot of different projects that I completed that I wasn't happy with, and I just put them in a container. And I said, okay, I may unravel some of those, and that could be scrap yarn for some rugs that I'm going to make, because I'm going to show y'all a rug that I'm working on. Because after your girl did my rug for my room, my husband requested a rug, and I'm like, look at you. Yeah, I was like, huh? Okay. Like, okay. So I am going to make him a little rug for his personal area. And I'm excited about that. He wanted to be colorful and bright. And I'm going to show y'all that closer to the end of this video, because I also want to show y'all, I'm actually going to do his a little different too, but I'll talk about that when I show that to y'all. But I actually worked a little more on the channel. I showed y'all about the octagon. Is it octagon pants? I showed y'all those. This is what I've been working on here. Now, y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you can see, the colors in this is so beautiful. And for me, I was saying, I wish that I just had this as a granny square, because listen, y'all, I don't know where I'm going with these pants. I don't even know at this point. What I wanted to do was just tie them up and find somebody who little teeny body can fit in these little teeny pants, okay? Because listen, I'm almost like losing a little bit of curve, like hope in this pants. Like I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to turn out, if they're going to turn out. But I have picked it up and been working on it because I'm like, I want to see it through. I want to see, can it actually become wearable, like, So I may continue to work on this and just see. We're going to see what we end up with. I am not wanting to frog it because y'all, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work, and I don't want to frog it at the moment, but I'm like, I may have to frog it. I'm not sure though. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know if anybody have made the octagon pants. I think you start off with 8 sides of like a granny square, and then it's supposed to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it turns into some pants. But y'all, listen, I just picked that up. I think what triggered me too. Let me turn my notebook back on. What triggered me too was I feel like I was using the scrap yarn in my granny basket, in my scrap yarn basket, and that right there triggered me to actually pick those pants up because those pants was in there. Okay, so those are the things that I've been working on. I have my notes, like I said, I have my notes, y'all, and and in the notes I put what surprised me about the bucket hat. And I thought that was so cute. So we're going to see, we all over the place. We're going to hop back to this bucket hat real quick. Because there's a message within a message within a message, y'all. Okay, like I said, I hope y'all crocheting something beautiful. If y'all are crocheting something beautiful, let me know in the comments below what y'all are working on while y'all are listening to this beautiful, amazing, amazing broadcast. Okay. But one thing that surprised me about the bucket hat was how we can have so many different patterns, almost like for the same type of thing. Like there's so many patterns for bucket hats. Someone can give you how they did it. They can walk you through it, but even something as little as tension changes that pattern. And what surprised me the most, it was like it gave me a life lesson. And crochet has a way of doing this. It gave me a life lesson. Like, listen, just because someone is doing something that was given to you because you were supposed to give it to someone else as well, don't expect it to turn out the way that it was given to you or the way that you did it. You have to be okay with the uniqueness of everybody else's version of what was given to you for you to give to others. Because then when you see the beauty in the way that other people do it as well, it's like life shows you, like, listen, it's okay for all of us to be different, but we all can end up with something similar to the same thing that was given. And there's a lesson within that. We're all not meant to be the same. We're not meant to be the same. And we can love, we can honor, and we can show so much, like, I think we can express the highest love of people being different. For so long, we've been taught, like, oh no, we got to be the same. You got to look this way. You got to have this. No, there's so much beauty in the difference. And it's okay to be different. And it's okay to appreciate and love people who are different. Okay. Okay. And be unapologetically different. Stand in what you love to do and stand in how you do what you do, because this is a lesson I have to tell my kids. Like, listen, don't try to make excuses for the way that you do things or defend the way you do things. No, this is you. Do it the way that it came to you. And if people like it, okay. If they don't, oh well. Now we're gonna move right along. We are gonna move right along. So that's the thing that worked for me. I also put on here what didn't work, y'all. What didn't work was, like, listen, I guess my tension wasn't tight enough for that hat, so that did not work for me when it came down to the bucket hat. And right now, it's looking like these octagon pants is not working, but y'all, we're gonna keep pushing because I am determined. I am determined to make it work. Y'all, let me know. Let me know in the comments below too. Have y'all worked on a project and you've been so determined to make that project work, and you push and push to the very end, and then it came together? Like, let me know, because I need some encouragement to keep pushing for these octo pants. Okay, I need some. I need awesome, y'all. Okay, so I think I talked a little bit. Like I said, for the video, y'all, I wrote my notes down where my mind has been. We spoke about that in the beginning. Like I say, just kind of like y'all, I've been just on this thing. Like, I love my crochet family. I love talking to y'all. I love doing these videos because it's more than crochet. I love putting love plush. Like, look at that. Look at my love plush. I said when I was doing my room, I said, listen, we're gonna have to just put love plush on display, right? And I do a thing, and sometimes I pause with a thing, right? And I had to be okay enter into these 40s understanding, like, listen, this is how you operate, right? You got to be okay with who you are, but you also in the honesty, in the creation, because I create a lot of things, do a lot of things, but in that you still have to honor yourself as well, and honoring myself, I'm realizing, is following through, and following through unapologetically, not caring what anyone else says. Like, if it came to me, I feel like I have to commit and love the things that I do just as much as I love what others do. And with that, because I'm going to be transparent here, I'm going to be so transparent. I am 110% toes down when it comes to someone creating something, getting something. Y'all, I'm the most happiest person for that person. I can look at someone's video and they could draw on a card, and I'm like, that's the most beautiful thing ever. But when it comes to me, I don't give myself that much praise, that much acknowledgement that I do others. And that's something I had to identify with myself, because there's sometimes I will make a love plush. For instance, my little puppy love plush with the one yellow ear. I was just like finding so much flaw. I was like, nah, maybe I should have did this different. Maybe this right here. Like, it's almost like I am not as confident in my work as I am confident and loving and seeing what other people do. And they are creatives. I'm a creative. So one thing that even taking this break has taught me is, like, you have to learn how to be confident in your work. You have to learn how to be confident in your creativity. And the crazy thing is, you don't understand sometimes that you can teach a thing, and when you're teaching it, you're not realizing that the person that really needs that lesson the most can be yourself. Mm. Because I talk to my kids all the time, and one thing that I teach to them all the time is confidence. Confidence all across the board when it comes to their work, when it comes to who they are just out in society, when it comes to them. It could be washing clothes. I want you to be confident in washing clothes. I don't want you to overuse my laundry detergent, okay? I want you to be confident in everything you do. And I did not realize that the conversations that I was having with them, y'all, was actually meant for me, because I had to learn how to get a little more confident when it comes down to my crochet, when it comes down to love plush. You like sitting in that confidence, because when you're confident, your work speaks for itself. Okay? When you're confident, your work speaks for itself. Somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to hear that. I don't have to ask someone how they like a thing, what they think about a thing, because I'm confident you're going to see that on whatever it is that I create. Y'all, we're going to pause that right there. That's beautiful. Y'all, that's why I had to turn on the camera. I hope y'all stay with me throughout. I hope, like I said, I hope y'all are crocheting, because I'm not crocheting. There's a lot of things I just really wanted to talk about. I wanted to come on. This is like our cozy corner of crochet and chat, y'all, but I ain't crocheting right now. I'm showing y'all some of my crochet stuff, okay? So the thing that I'm working on, the last note that I have here is what I'm making next. This is what I was saying about the rug that my husband asked. I'm gonna show y'all the colorway that I got for him so far. We have some pink, white, blues, and he wants a bright colorway. So I have to be mindful, because if you see my rug, I have a lot, like, I love the dark colorway, y'all. I love my browns, the blacks in there. Like, listen, I try to put on a different color and it's always black. I don't know what's going on. But This right here is the start, and how I'm doing this one different. When I did my rug, let's see, this is a 12, I'm using a 12 millimeter crochet hook, and I use chunky yarn and regular yarn for mine. So I did a weight, it's either a weight 6 or 7, I think. It's like I have a scrap bag of just chunky yarn, and I use that with one Karen Simply Soft, one strand of Karen Simply Soft. And I think that blanket, I mean, not blanket, oh my goodness, here we go. I think that rug turned out amazing. So I really had enjoyed doing it that way. And when I started this one, I was like, okay, let's try something different because I may make more of these, right? And I wanted to see which way do I like the best. And I have more acrylic yarn, weight 4 than chunky. So I definitely wanted to see how this worked out with this right here, because I'm gonna bust through my stash with this, with these rugs. I'm busting through my stash. But this one right here is 4. I'm using so far yellow, a peach color. Well, I started off with yellow, peach, pink, and white, and I realized, like, if you see the center, I was like, that's a little too much with the lightness of the peach and the yellows, and that I was like, we need some kind of color to pop it. And that's when I went with the blue. The blue did well, if you can see right here, but then I said it still needed something to pop it more, and we added that dark pink back in there. So I think it's turning out pretty good. I'm gonna run with these colors for a little while longer, and I may insert, like, I have like a lime green. Let me see. Looking at my stash, y'all. I have like some purples. Whew, and I have some variegated yarn that I may throw in here too. So that's going to change the game. Like, oh, right here, because I saw this right here when I was actually preparing for the video. And I said, you know what? I may throw this in here once I'm done with a little bit of this blue, because right now I have this sparkly blue, and I may, after a little while, I may stop using this. I do have some more of that sparkle color. I have like red. I have like, I know I have the red one. I think it's just a red and a Christmassy one, but I don't want to put the Christmassy one in there. But I have some more of that sparkle color, and I love that little spark, y'all. So I know some more sparkle is going to get into this rug. But so far, this is what I've came up with. I'm going to go until about 14 rounds, if I'm not mistaken. And all I did, so y'all, if anybody want to, stash bust, same thing I did for the mines on the floor. All I did, y'all, was started with 12 double crochets in the magic ring, increased up to as big as you want it. Ooh, look, some fiber is flying around. Increase up to as big as you want it. I did 14 rounds of increases. I didn't do any, like, you know how they increase and then they go around. I just increased the entire thing. And once I laid it on the floor, it doesn't bubble up. It has a little, I saw at first, I was like, oh man, it's not going to spread out. But no, it spreads out really good. In the picture, you will see it's laying flat on the ground, on the floor. So it's not like too much increase will make it like kind of do like this. What is this? What is this? Listen, it's not that. It will actually lay flat once you put it on the floor, and you may have to press it out or whatnot, but it worked good. I didn't even have to what's it called? They do what's it called when they wet it and then they put it, I forgot. Someone could tell me the name. I forgot what it's called, but I didn't have to do that. I just laid it on the floor, and it actually looks really, really good. So with that being said, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Y'all, when I did this right here, and ever since when I press play, I was thinking, my dad, quick story. My dad, he was a pastor, and he would wear the collar. He would wear the collar. This thing reminds me of that. When I was doing this, I'm like, listen, why do I look like the little collar thing where the pastors used to wear? I don't even know where that came from, but y'all, I had to say that. But anyways, I hope y'all thoroughly enjoyed this video. I really had a great time coming on, chatting it up, talking to y'all about, some of the things that I've been working on, like where I've been, like where my mind has been. Y'all, talk to me in the comments below. Let me know y'all made it to all the way to the end of the video, because listen, this is like a cozy crochet and chat. This is like, I hope someone got something from this video, because in my heart of hearts, this is what it's all about for me. And we are going to be crocheting together sometime soon, y'all. Cause listen, I have to get back in it. I have to get back in it. But with that being said, I want y'all to always remember that I am your one and your only Lady of Crochet, Lady Simone, and I will see you next time.